Sorry, I'm in my box room here. I'm trying to get. It's not the best of circumstances, but I just wanted to come on to discuss the Rex Heuermann case. I believe there's some court documents, and I was unscribed before, so I'm going to try and get it up. Okay. So I'm going to read it, right? I don't know how to do that. Hang on. Needs to be the full page, doesn't it, obviously? So I'm going to just check something out. Righto, so it's come up here. So I'm going to read off where we were. I'm kind of hear myself now. But I can't see myself, by the way, so I don't want any remarks about the room I'm in right now. This is just a room where I do my work in right now, because I've got no space in my house, but I just wanted to come online and do these documents that are relating to updates regarding the Heuermann case. And I'm not sure if anybody's seen them at the minute. I'm going to wait for people to get through to the chat. So if you want to grab a glass of wine and things like that, go ahead. I will perfectly think you need it, because it's going to be a good one, this. I've been waiting for this to drop, but I didn't know, I've got to be honest, that it was out. But we know basically, but we have to go through it again, because it is an amendment of the it's the Supreme Court of Suffolk County, State of New York, a bail application. On or about July 14th, 2023, defendant Rex Heuermann was charged by a grand jury with the following 6 counts, which have been incorporated by Suffolk County Jail indictments. Murder in the first degree in violation of the New York State Penal Law Section 125.27, a Class A1 violent felony of the death of Melissa Bartholomew on or about July 10, 2009. The murder in the first degree in violation of New York State Penal Law Section, a class violation, a violent felony of the death of Megan Waterman on or about June 6 of 2010. And then of the murder of the first degree of the violation of the New York State Penal Law, Section 125.27, 1A, brackets XI, a Class A1 violation felony of the death of Amber Costello on or about September 2nd of 2010. Murder in the second degree in violation of the New York State Penal Law of Section 125, a Class A1 violation, a violent felony of the death of Melissa Bartholomew on or about July 10th of 2009. You see, there's 56 pages now instead of 30. There was 39. Okay, so there's a lot more in here now, and I've read a bit of it. Murder in the second degree in violation of New York State Penal Law of Section 125, a Class A1 violent felony of the death of Megan Waterman on or about June 6 of 2010, and murder in the second degree in the violation of New York State Penal Law Section 125, Class A1 violent felony of the death of Amber Costello on or about September 2nd of 2010. Today, Rex Heuermann stands before the court charged in the grand jury of a superseding indictment which incorporates not only the above counts, but additional charge of murder in the second degree in violation of the New York State Penal Law section of Class A1 violent felony of the death of Maureen Brainerd Barnes on the 9th of July of 2007. The people filed a written bail application at Rex Heuermann's initial arraignment, which occurred on July 14th of 2023. That application as annexed hereto at Exhibit A. On July 14th of 2023, Honourable Richard Ambrose ordered that defendant Rex Heuermann be remanded without bail. A matter was subsequently adjourned to August 1st of 2023 before the Honourable Timothy Mazie on August the 1st of 2023, and assuring appearance that have followed, this court has continued to remand the defendant without bail. Set forth below is the people's bail application in support of the superseding indictment, which will expand on additional evidentiary developments. So this is why I'm reading it today. In this investigation, not included within the Exhibit A, further tying Rex Heuermann to the murders of Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, and now Maureen Brainerd Barnes. Based on defendant Heuermann's indictments and additional murder charge as it pertains to now a fourth victim. A serious nature of these serial murders, the planning and forethought that went into these crimes, the strength of the people's case, the length of incarceration the defendant faces upon conviction, the extended period of time that this defendant was able to avoid apprehension, and the remaining facts set forth herein and contained within Exhibit A. The people remain steadfast that the only means to ensure defendant Rex Heuermann's return to court is to remand him without bail. Records now establish that the defendant Heuermann's wife was also out of New York for the disappearance of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. As set forth Exhibit A, was people doubting that? I'm not sure. We were doubting that one for Jessica Taylor, but we're not up to that yet. And they're going to go through different material, different information now that they can give us that isn't too much that can hinder anything that's been set out. So, yeah, that's what I'll be doing today. I'll wait for more to get in. Oh, good evening, Paul. Yes, I'm going through this indictment, so I'm sorry if I seem ignorant or anything like that. But I just want to, yeah, I was just excited to see that there's something out, you know. Exhibit A, travel and cellular phone billing records had previously established that Defence and Human's wife and children were out of state during the disappearance and the murders of 3 of the 4 victims, specifically Melissa Bartholomew and Megan Waterman and Amber Costello. Recently, during the execution of numerous search warrants from Defence and Human's arrest, law enforcement secured thousands of documents from storage units leased by Defence and Human. While the review of these records is ongoing, among these records is an August 2007 Bank of America card statements. See embedded image of showing the page indicates that July 6th at the hotel. Highlighted boxes have been added to the bank statement below for demonstration purposes. Red indicates credit card charge for the stay at the flagship hotel at the beginning of July 6th of 2007. And the blue indication of the credit card for the stay at the Club Wyndham Skylum Tower beginning of July 13, 2007, and seized by law enforcement. The documents below containing the handwriting depicted in the bank statement below. I'm not sure pretty what this means as such, but someone was shopping at Victoria's Secrets and flagship hotel. Based on the post-arrest interviews with the witnesses, including defendant Heuermann's wife, Mrs. Asa Alarup, the task force was able to corroborate that Mrs. Alarup and her two children stayed at Atlantic City, New Jersey, from on or about July 6 of 2007 through on or about July 20th of 2007. The trip began with defendant Heuermann remaining in New York. According to the investigation to date, Mrs. Alarup and her children checked in to the flagship hotel on or about July 6 of 2007. On or about July 13th of 2007, defendant Heuermann arrived in Atlantic City. On that date, defendant Heuermann and his family checked in to the club Wyndham Skyline Tower in Atlantic City, New Jersey, as seen above. Consequently, defendant Heuermann's wife and children were indeed travelling out of state during the time Maureen Brainerd Barnes' disappearance, which occurred on or about the 9th of 2007. Based on the foregoing, the murders of all four victims occurred at times when defendant Heuermann's wife and children were travelling out of state, which allowed defendant Heuermann unfettered time to execute his plans of each victim without any fear of his family would uncover or learn of his involvement. Additional burner phones and online account activity linked to defendant Heuermann. As described in Exhibit A, over the course of the investigation, defendant Heuermann investigator located a number of online accounts and burner cell phones linked to defendant Heuermann, which were held by defendants in fictitious names and used for illicit activities. Two of those phones recovered from defendant Heuermann at that time of his arrest, specifically 347-885-1697, which was recovered from defendant Heuermann's office in Midtown Manhattan, and the number ending in 71, which recovered in defendant Heuermann's person. Both phones have clear ties to defendant Heuermann, as also set forth with Exhibit A. To who utilised these phones? I mean, you'd think you'd get new phones, sell you the data, wouldn't you? Phones in furtherance of hundreds of contacts with sex workers between 2020 and 2023. Oh my God. So he didn't just stop. He was still seeing a lot of things that everybody else, I'm not sure how much details here, but I think this is going to get interesting. So I'm just going to I'm just going to take my time talking about this for 5 minutes, and have a ponder about what could be possibly what could be in this indictment. Well, bail application. I'm in the spare room and I haven't decorated yet, so it's a bit. I'm sorry, it's a bit mess. It's it's a nightmare. I had to give my daughter the bigger room, so I'm stuck in this one for now. I don't know how bad I look online. That's okay. It's no problem. I've got to decorate. If people are going to judge me for my walls, well, that's okay. Oh, it's hot. But I am surprised by this. I wasn't expecting to get any documentation this quick, but because it's taken so long for getting anything at the moment, you know. You know, there's so much to come. There is. There's definitely going to be a lot more involved in depth here, and I've gotten nowhere through it yet. So I'm going to be on here for quite some time. I don't mind if you go and watch something else. I'll be here for another 20 minutes before I'll be honest. I don't see anybody coming in, so it seems like I'm not getting much in that algorithm, am I? Or I'm glad it's showing the documents. Or is it? Is it showing? Yeah. Clean my own stomach. That's not good. See, it's going to go through the examination of the bodies and things of that nature. So, I know other channels are going to cover it first. They probably have, you know. It's probably why I've not had any views. But I don't know if it's because I live in England, but I don't get documentation that easy. But yeah, I don't have anybody helping me. So it's one of those. You're building your channel up. I'm building the channel up. Maybe I'm no good. Maybe there's too many of us, and there's no place for me. I don't know. But I'm trying to do much as can, like with the lives. I've been on a lot. Oh, hi, Paul. Hope you're all right. Oh, aren't you good walking your mum's dog? Oh, thanks for listening. Yeah, I'll be here for a while, Paul. So everybody, you know, just don't worry if you don't catch all of it. I'm not going to I'm going to try and chop it down as well. I'm not sure what I can do about trying and, you know, to put it into chapters. I'm not sure how to do that yet. Don't know if I can actually. But yeah, it would be handy if I could do that actually, because there's a lot of chapters people really don't want to hear in this case. But if you're not here for that, then that's okay. You can listen to another time. That's what I love about my lives. They're not going to be all frantic to see a lot of people on the other channels are so in a rush to get all the info. And I'm not sure. I like to digest the information little by little. I like to get into everything they're saying I try my best to understand as well what I'm doing and all the rest of it. But yeah, I've just got to try and do something on my channel. I'm not sure what I can do about this. But yeah, it's different when you're running a live off your phone and then on your yeah. Hope you're all well. Yeah, I was just looking at the settings of what I've got. I don't know how to set things up on my phone, to send things out, and but yeah, I hope to get a lot of this read out today. I don't want to keep you, so I'll try and read a bit more out. Okay. For example, an extraction of 347-885-1697, which is an Alcatel flip phone recovered from defendant Heuermann's work desk drawer, revealed the following communications. On or about the 1st of March 2020, starting at approximately 4:39 p.m., the following text message exchange occurred between a number, and it says sex worker phone, which is linked to a sex advertisement in that Massapequa area. Embedded image below. Footnote: District Attorney's Office is aware of the full 10-digit cell phone number for a sex worker phone number. The full number is redacted to remain privacy. This is the advertisement. I mean, she looks pretty young. That's what he wants, was answering to. Wonder how tall she is. So they've been able to track quite a bit by the sounds of it. That's what maybe it was took so long as well. At approximately 4:39 p.m., the sex worker's phone number stating, "Hi, I saw your ad and wanted to see if we could set something up later, Andy." And we know, isn't his middle name Andrew? C. Approximately 5:09 p.m., sex worker phone responded, I don't for the day. Does tomorrow work? And approximately back, I'm working all day. I was free today. My wife's out for the day, working Monday. So he's making arrangements for this sex worker to come round to his home. Soon after, the sex worker's number responded the text, "Okay, love, I'm available Monday between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m, Tuesday to Thursday, 11 to 7 p.m. 30. At approximately 5:19, sent the following text message to the sex worker. "Thanks, I will see which day I can make work." On or about March 4th, 2020, at approximately 7:49 p.m, sent the following message to a sex worker phone stating, "Andy, here, email me at sandbagger303@gmail.com. We can talk, bed info." Google records obtained via subpoena for the Sambagger 303 Gmail account. Hereafter, the Sambagger email account is labelled in court, revealed that the account was created in 2017 and was subscribed in the fictitious name Andrew Roberts, a known alias utilised by defendant Rex A. Andrew Heuermann. Search warrants revealed that Sambagger email account was utilised by defendant Rex Heuermann, Andrew. Search warrant revealed that the Sambagger email account was utilised as recently as April 2021 to access and or conduct search related to pornography, R and torture and S workers several thousand times. Hereafter, April 2001, defendant Rex Heuermann is believed to have transitioned such activity to the Talk email account described in further detail as that fourth in Exhibit A. What's Talk mean? For example, these newly discovered searches included, but not limited to, tied up fat corn, tied up bad. I'm going to just leave them there. Okay. Medieval tea of women, Asian escorts in Manhattan, Hawaii was R-worded audio, skinny black S girl, corn, stories of R-word audio, Long Island mistress, young twink tied up on escorts. Unless otherwise noted, these searches are listed as they appeared in the Google records. How cell phones tracking increasingly used to be solve crimes. FBI Cellular Analyst Survey Team, Gilgo News. How does cell phone site analysis work? Historical cell site analysis. How does cell site analysis work? Historical cell site analysis. Overview of principles and survey. New Discovery series tackles decades of old Long Island serial murders. He's put Melissa Barthelomew's sister inside the mind of a murderer. New cases and the hunt for the Long Island serial killer. Long Island serial killer victims. Sisters reveal more about Moore and Brainerd Barnes. Further digital evidence linked to defendant Heuermann. Recently, during the execution of numerous search warrants following defendant Heuermann's arrest, law enforcement seized hundreds of electronic devices from defendant Heuermann's place of business, which the review of these records is ongoing. The data indicates that Rex Heuermann utilized many of these electronic devices in similar fashion. Example 1. Google searches regarding the deceased victims and their family members. 2. The Google searches regarding the status of the instant investigation. This is what I was talking about. The first one, Google searches regarding deceased victims. If that isn't evidence enough, as well as the DNA, like I said in my video a couple of days ago, then they'll mention this, and they have, which is great. Google searches for software that would insist in wiping or erasing data from computers and similar digital services. Now, if he wasn't guilty, why would he be doing that? Purchase use of easy hide IP shredder and digital masking of forensic wiping tools to wipe his IP address. Unless otherwise noted, these searches and article descriptions are listed as they appeared in the Google search records. 5. Google searches on serial killers and serial killer investigations. 6. Defendant devices also contain the following. 1. A collection of violence, bondage, and torture, and pornography preceding, during, and subsequent to disappearances and murders of the aforementioned victims between 2007 and 2010, and 2. Prostitution-related searches preceding, during, and subsequent to the disappearance and the murders of the aforementioned victims between 2007 and 2010, i.e. Backpage, Craigslist, etc. Notably, an analyst of defendant Heuermann's laptop indicates the use of the file shredding software in July 9th of 2009, shortly before defendant Heuermann was to meet with Melissa Bartholomew. French try. I'm sorry, I can't see anybody at the minute or who's in the chat right now. I'm sorry if you caught me. Sorry. I'm sitting in my spare room. I haven't yet taken the bed down and decorated in it yet, so it's sort of still the half my daughter's bed up. But it's the only place I can sit, really, because my autistic daughter has the TV in this house, and I just sit out the way in the attic, like a slave. Moreover, an analysis of his laptop between September 1st of 2010 at approximately 9:03 p.m. Defendant Heuermann accessed Amber Costello's Backpage ad just hours before the ruse occurred, as described in Exhibit A. To get rid of his wife. Hope you could see that. Are any better for you? A burner phone linked to defendant Heuermann had communications with Amber Costello's phone. During those communications, the burner cell phone connected to the cell site towers in West Ammerville and Massapequa Park. Thereafter, the burner cell phone indicated travel to West Babylon in proximity to the residence of Amber Costello, and again had contact with Mrs. Costello's phone at approximately 12:05 a.m. and on September 2nd of 2010, which is when the witnesses described an individual now known to be Rex Heuermann arriving at Costello's residence. The task force discovery of the direct link between Rex Heuermann and Mrs. Costello back page ad just hours before defendant met with Mrs. Costello further solidifies that defendant Heuermann was the John who was the subject of the ruse. I see, because she tried to trick him, didn't she? Yeah. Who returned later that day to pick up Mrs. Costello prior to her disappearance and murder. Despite defendant Heuermann's attempts to wipe or scrub his laptop computer, he was unsuccessful in concealing his access to Mrs. Costello's backpage ad. So it picked up that he wasn't successful wiping that. Analysis of the hairs recovered from the examination of the victims' bodies. As set forth on Exhibit A, Suffolk County Crime Laboratory, hereinafter the SCCL, and two outside forensic laboratories previously referred to as Forensic Laboratory 1 and Forensic Laboratory 2, conducted testing hairs recovered on the various victims, specifically comparing the DNA profiles generated from these hairs recovered at the crime scene to DNA profiles developed from defendant Heuermann and member of his immediate family. On or about the July 14th of 2023, members of the task force met with defendant Heuermann's wife, Asa Allerup, as well as his daughter Victoria Heuermann and stepson Christopher Sheridan, and obtained a buccal swabs on consent from each of the three individuals. The task force transported these swabs to the SCCL, requested that the said items to be tested against the DNA transported. The task force transported these swabs to the SCCL and requested that said items be tested against the DNA profiles developed with the 11 bottles previously collected from garbage cans placed in front of the defendant Heuermann's residence in July 2022, July 21st. As well as the 12th item, a monster Java, can be described inferior. Note 5. The 3 of the 4 victims were restrained by burlap and tape. Megan Waterman and Amber Costello, while the 4th victim, Lauren Brain Barnes, was restrained by 3 belts. The retained hair was recovered from the restraints of these 3 of the 4 victims as set forth in Exhibit A. The SCCL swabbed the mouth of the said bottles and the 11 bottles collected outside the Heuermann residence. The SCCL was able to develop 3 atomic DNA profiles, ultimately labelled unknown individual and male, later determined to be the stepson of Rex Heuermann. The Java can recovered from Victoria Heuermann. On the 25th of May 2023, undercover agents in the task force conducted surveillance on Victoria Heuermann 26 defendant's daughter. During the surveillance, said Victoria boarded the Long Island train, and that's where they transported her. Yeah. Unknown individual, female. Subsequent to defendant Rex Heuermann's arrest, the SCCL had been able to enter alias come to the following conclusions. A female DNA profile was developed in the buccal swab of Victoria Heuermann, matched the DNA profile obtained from the monster Java can. Female DNA profile developed at the buccal swab of Asa matched the DNA profiles obtained from 2 of the 11 bottles recovered from the front of their residence. The determination made by the Forensic Laboratory 1 following defendant Heuermann's arrest. Forensic Laboratory 1 was founded by paleogeneticists to apply DNA techniques and direct genome sequencing used in molecular paleontology to difficult to solve forensic casework and the identification of human remains. Forensic Laboratory 1 proprietary methods make it possible to recover genetic profiles from rootless hair and other highly degraded samples that otherwise traditional forensic DNA testing, including the aforementioned DNA analysis performed at the SCCL. Recently, Forensic Laboratory 1 issued a report which contained the following conclusions. The female hair on Maureen Brainerd Barnes. Miss Brainerd Barnes had been left restrained by 3 leather belts, one of which was utilised to tie Barnes' feet, ankles, legs together. During the examination of the belts, the SCCL recovered a human hair from the buckle of the said belt, hereinafter female hair on Barnes. On or about December 10th, 2010, the SCCL was able to determine that it corresponded to a Caucasian hair fragment Although the hair was found unsuitable for nuclear DNA profiling at that time, it was subsequently sent to forensic laboratory 1 for further DNA analysis prior to the identification of Rex Heuermann as a suspect. Okay. Recently, Forensic Laboratory 1 was also able to generate DNA sequencing data for the female hair on bones. Forensic Laboratory 1 was then able to conduct a one-to-one autosomal nuclear DNA comparison between said profile developed from female hair on bones to Asa Alarup's SMP genome type file, which resulted in the following conclusion. The DNA profile generated from the female hair on bones, which was recovered on the said bell utilized to restrain Mrs. Brainerd Barnes' remains, is 7.9 trillion times more likely to have come from a person genetically identical to Asa Alarup SMP genome type file. That was from an unrelated individual. See embedded excerpt of the report below. I'm just going to stand up for a minute. I just need to bounce. I'll be 2 minutes. Can you please read through that? You'll find it possibly as complicated as I do, but it's proof that it is. It just proves to me everything that I thought already. I try and get a lot. I might have to pop out for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I didn't think this data would be out, really. 2 female hairs on Megan Waterman. Megan Waterman had been bound by duct tape. During the course of the examination on Mrs. Waterman's body, 2 female hairs were recovered, one from outside the head area and the other from the tape of the head area. Both hairs were recovered in the vicinity of Miss Waterman's head. Hereinafter, the 2 female hairs on Waterman, that's where it's been levelled at. Examination by the SCCL indicated that the 2 female hairs on Waterman exhibited Caucasian and European characteristics, but were unsuitable for further DNA testing at that time. The 2 hairs on Waterman were subsequently submitted for Laboratory 1 prior to the identification of Rex Heuermann as a suspect for the further DNA analysis. Recently, Forensic Laboratory 1 was able to generate DNA subsequent sequencing data for the 2 female hairs on Waterman and subsequently conducted a one-on-one orthogonal nuclear DNA comparison between said profiles developed from 2 female hairs on Waterman. 2 Acer Allerup SMP genome type file, which resulted in the following conclusions. First, with regards to the hair recovered from the outside of the head area of Miss Waterman, the DNA profile generated from said hair is 2.374 times 10⁴48 of more likely to have come from a person genetically identical to Acer Allerup's genome type. So there's the proof of that. These are the receipts, And I mean, look at the number. I'm not even going to say that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for you to have your proof that. Second, with regards to the hair recovered from the tape of the head area of Miss Waterman, the DNA profile generated from the said hair is 2.778 of times 10⁴80 more likely to have come from a person genetically identical to Acer Allerup. Female hair on Amber Costello. An examination of the body of Amber Costello revealed that she appeared to have been bound by burlap, as well as numerous pieces of duct tape. During the course of the examination of Miss Costello's body, a female human hair was recovered, specifically a piece of tape from the burlap wrapping in the vicinity of Mrs. Costello's head. Hereinafter, female hair on Costello. A subsequent examination of the female hair determined that it had Caucasian and European characteristics. It was unsuitable for further DNA testing at that time. Prior to the identification of Rex Heuermann as a suspect, the female hair on Costello was subsequently submitted to a forensic laboratory 1 for further DNA analysis. Recently, Forensic Laboratory 1 was able to generate DNA sequencing data for the female hair on Costello and subsequently conducted a one-to-one orthogonal nuclear DNA comparison, which said profile developed from the female hair on Costello to Victoria Heuermann's SMP genome type. developed from the monster of Java can, which had been discarded by Heuermann on the 25th of May 2023, which had resulted in the following conclusion. The DNA profile generated from the hair on Costello is 4.654 times 10^63 more likely to have come from a person genetically identical to Victoria Heuermann's SMP genome type file. That for related small yellow envelope containing sample sealed evidence. When was that? Notably, at the time Miss Samba Costello disappeared, Heuermann would have been almost 1 month shy of her 14th birthday. Based on the foregoing, it is significant that two forensic laboratories, Forensic Laboratory 1 and Forensic Laboratory 2, have now independently determined that the female hairs recovered on the remains of Miss Waterman and Mrs. Costello are subsequently more likely to have derived from a person genetically identical to the SMP genome type files and members of defendant's family, specifically his wife Asa and his daughter. Victoria Heuermann than from the unrelated individual. Moreover, as set forth here in Exhibit A, Miss Sellerup and Victoria Heuermann were out of state, said he keeps staying. Okay. I don't think because she was 14 that she wasn't aware that the circumstances around her home weren't usual, you know. Rex Heuermann murdered, restrained, and transported the remains of victims on Gilgo Beach until they were ultimately discovered in December 2010. Male hair linked to defendant Heuermann. Finally, during the initial examination of Miss Waterman's skeletal remains and the bare lab materials, the SCCL was also able to recover a male hair from the bottom of the bare lab, used to wrap Mrs. Waterman by her killer hereinafter male hair on Waterman, an initial examination. In addition, for Forensic Laboratory 1, conducting nuclear DNA testing of the pseudo exemplars and the buccal swab samples from Victoria Heuermann and Asa Ellerup, Forensic Laboratory 2 conducted a mitochondrial DNA testing and was able to generate full mitochondrial DNA profile from the aforementioned Gatorade bottle, which, as set forth herein, is directly attributable to Asa Ellerup. Forensic Laboratory 2 compared Asa Ellerup's mitochondrial DNA profile to mitochondrial DNA profile developed from female hair on Costello, which resulted in the conclusion that the mitochondrial DNA profiles are the same at all compared positions, common to and between samples, specifically at the rate that would, as per the EMPOP database, excludes 99.98% of North American population from the hair of Costello. Since humans inherit their mitochondrial DNA solely from their mothers, our mother and her children, example Asa Ellerup and Victoria respectively, would share the same mitochondrial DNA profile. Here, Forensic Laboratory 1 nuclear DNA comparison provides clarity as to whom within Asa Ellerup and Victoria Heuermann's mitochondrial profile is the contributor of the female hair on Costella. So they don't know. Offset hair revealed Caucasian European characteristics. However, the hair was unsuitable for further DNA analysis at the time by SCCL. The female hair, I mean, when I say they don't know who's between a Arab or Victoria. But then with the other DNA, they can point that out. Male hair on the Waterman was subsequently submitted for forensic laboratory 1 prior to investigation of Rex Heuermann as suspect, and more recently to forensic laboratory 2 for further DNA analysis. Determinations made the forensic laboratory 1 regarding the male hair on Waterman's following defendant Heuermann's arrest. Recently, forensic laboratory 1 was able to generate DNA sequencing data for the male hair on Waterman and subsequently conducted a one-on-one orthogonal nuclear DNA comparison set between said profiles developed from male hair on Waterman to Rex Heuermann's SMP genome file, developed from an extract of a napkin contained within the pizza box depicted below, and described in further detail in Exhibit 1A, which resulted in the following conclusions. I might be reading. I'm so sorry. I hope I haven't read them. I'm freaking out. I won't be long. I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to pop off. There was other paperwork, and I'm not sure why it's not on here. I've seen this.